Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. So far, we
Good morning.
have completed almost 70% of the first unit. Initially, we started with the definition, the fundamental concept, hope, how it differs from traditional economics, what are the significance, how to make a decision, process, all these things we have discussed so far. Today is one of the important questions. Commonly, they are asking in section B, what is the nature of managerial economics? Nature, if you say, then it's nothing but you have to tell about the feature or characters of a not only for subject but also if you say what is the nature of a particular person. If you ask, you have to say what is the height, what type of thing, what is the educational qualification, and how he or she will be termed. This is called nature. Like that, for managerial economics, if you answer 3 questions, definitely it will give what is the nature of managerial economics. How we are defining the managerial economics? It is an integration of economic theory with business practices for purpose of facilitating decision making and forward planning. So if that is the definition, then there is a confusion whether it is a science or art, whether it is an art subject or science subject. Similarly, whether it is theory or practical, or we may say whether the managed economics is positive economics or normative economics. Finally, whether it is micro nature or macro nature. If you answer these 3 questions, definitely it exposes whether that managerial economics, what kind of nature that managerial economics has. So first we will answer the first question. So these 3 are a chance to get a separate section A question, whether managerial economics is a art or a science. See, basically economics is an art subject, but managerial economics is a science as well as art. Why? Because it is a applied branch of economics in which there are various principles and concepts towards solving the management problem. It includes statistics, mathematics, operation research, and other science subject also included in order to solve the administrative problem and business problem for making an effective decision. Therefore, what we have to say, it is both science and arts. Why we can term it as it includes cost analysis, it includes production analysis, it includes demand analysis, it includes profit analysis. Why all these things are included? Because in order to make an effective decision. So it is not only arts, but it is a science. So the first question is, whenever you think about the managerial economics, treat them as science, even though it is an art subject, because a lot of practical scientific techniques and tools are used in order to make a decision. So, whether managerial economics is positive or normative. First of all, we should know what we mean by positive and normative. Because positive is nothing but it is a descriptive nature, theory. A lot of list of theories will be there. Then what is normative? It is not only subjective, but it insists how to be. How it is a one side, how it should be. So there is some practical concept which will involve. So that is why if somebody is asking whether managerial economics is a positive or normative, we should say managerial economics is normative in its approach, even though it is extracted from a positive economic theory. All the list is economic theories, but it is not positive. Apart from positive, it is, but also it is a normative. Why? Because the positive economics is descriptive nature, as it describes the economic activities as they are. But managerial economics is not like that, because the managerial is a subjective which insists the economic data how it should be. That is, positive means what it is, but normative means how it should be. So the managerial economics is normative in nature because It includes all practical aspects. Therefore, the managed economics is normative as it involves decision-making process in a business practices. You may expect a separate section like that. Now, we'll move to the third question. What is that question? Will you able to say? First one is whether arts or science. Second one is whether it is positive or normative. The third one is already we have to know this, the difference between micro and macro, whether managed economics is micro in nature or macro in nature. In this, the answer is managed economics is micro in nature. Why it is called micro in nature? Because it's studying about the individual or individual firm or a particular industry. It is not dealing with the macroeconomics. But macroeconomics will always talk about the aggregates like national income, employment level, inflation level. All these things are not included because this particular subject is meant for how to take a decision in a business practice. So an individual will use, or a particular business firm will use, or a particular industry like a sugar industry, leather industry, food industry, like one particular industry will use how to make. It is not aggregate. So what we have to say, as a macroeconomics is dealing only with aggregates, this managed economic does not include that. It solves the economic problem of the individual firm level, and it will analyze the national income, because if we aggregate the individual income, then we may get the national income, but the managed economic concentrate on individual income only, not the national income. So how we have to the applied economics will be taken care. So whenever whether the managed economics is micro or macro in nature, if somebody is asked, then you have to say it is micro in nature, not macro. Why? It deals with the individual consumer or individual producer or individual firm or individual industry. This particular micro level only, all the concepts are included. Once we know what is the nature, suppose it is both positive and normative, it is both arts and science. In this, we have to say it is micro in nature. Then this particular subject is gaining its importance because of this particular thing, the risk and the uncertainty. The purpose of studying managed economics is to take a right decision in a business practice. Why you have to take a right decision? In order to achieve the organizational goal. But all the business decision taken under the, somehow there will be a pressure to take some decision. It will involve a lot of risk. Definitely there will be some uncertainty. Future nobody can predict exactly. What may happen tomorrow we cannot. Why we have to say tomorrow? In the next 1 hour what will happen? Nobody can predict. But in this uncertain situation, we should take a decision. That is why the managed economics gain its importance. We may define these two terms, risk and uncertainty. Then if you have some basic idea, in the next class, we will list out what are the different type of risk and how it should be handled, whether it is insurable. All these things we will say in the next class. This class, we just have what is the definition of risk and what is the definition for uncertainty. First, we will see the meaning of it. This refers to variability or outcomes which are measurable in an empirical or quantitative manner. Suppose you are insuring your life because your life is under risk. For that, you are paying the premium. That premium amount is called quantitative value of your life. Years, based on your age, the premium amount will be set. How many years you can able, all these things will be considered. That is why it is called, it is a variability or outcome. Not only that, it should be measured in an empirical as well as in a quantitative manner. This phenomenon can be incorporated into cost. One way or other, it should pass with the cost value or the money value. One thing we should keep in mind that it does not alter the decision of the condition. The equilibrium is already outlined. What is going to happen, it will happen. But whether you can able to match with that particular situation, that is a successful business plan. In the same thing, for corollary for the risk is called uncertainty. The uncertainty denotes an imperfect knowledge about the future. So in that uncertainty, we are taking risk. Yes, it may happen. If I win this task, I can get this much profit. If I fail it, this much loss. So why it is happening? The outcome is different. whether you will win the game or you are going to lose the game because of the uncertainty. So that is why the risk factor is gaining the importance in the managerial economics. So suppose you know what is going to happen exactly, you have some knowledge about the future, then the risk is very less. If you don't know what's going to happen, the risk is very high. So there is one principle called Albert Maxwell principle for risk. He give two axioms: priori principle, posteriori principle. Priori principle, before knowing what is going to happen, some knowledge, it is called priori principle. After completing the task only, we know what is the outcome, then it is called posteriori principle. So, based on these two concepts, there are a number of theories has been came out in the managerial economics and which are very useful for the business practices. We may define the uncertainty in this way. Uncertainty is a situation regarding a variable in which neither its probability distribution nor its mode of appearance is known. Understand? உங்களுக்கு என்ன நடக்க போதும் தெரியாது, என்னெல்லாம் அவுட்கம் வர போதும் தெரியாது. That is why we used neither nor. Suppose if you say either or, then out of these two, one will be happen. For instance, in oligopolistic market, there are different markets like perfect competition, monopoly, oligopoly, monopolistic. One particular oligopolistic, the uncertainty with respect to marketing competitors, they define the uncertainty in this way. How? It is extremely common in economic activity because uncertain means it's a common factor. We should not fear about it because it's equal to all. What is going to happen tomorrow, you don't know. Even the third party doesn't know. Even I don't know. But how we can make the decision, that shows. With this, I'm winding the class. All of you complete your notes and submit in the Google Classroom. Tomorrow, the Google Classroom will open. Already 5 I have added, but others, please send your Gmail ID to my cell phone because I'm having WhatsApp number 9444441107. Kindly send your Gmail ID. Only 5 of you is now in the classroom. Others have to send the Gmail. Then only I can create the classroom. Okay, rest of the 12, please send. With this, I am winding the class. May God